would do whatever it takes to make a sick child feel better. But would you uproot your entire life, pack up the kids, and move across the country?
They've rented their house, packed up their lives. A house once filled with life is empty.
Many families are stuck here in Colorado indefinitely, away from family and friends back home.
The Buckers are among hundreds of marijuana refugees moving from all over the country.
If it's helping this little girl to be healthy, why can't she come home? And that's what's hard to understand.
That's the question of the hour. Why can't she come home?
Indeed.
Why does she have to stay away from her family, her friends, those who love her and care about her? What if, however, I told you that she can come home? Better yet, what if I told you that this girl's family and the thousands of other families out there who have loved ones dealing with debilitating diseases and conditions that would benefit from cannabidiol, from CBD, that they don't have to look at moving to Colorado to get their relief. They don't have to become medical marijuana refugees. How? Well, that is what we're going to reveal today on the Robert Scott Bell Show. You know, first thing I want to do here is I want to talk about a word that blew me away, the word refugee. Now, Joni, when you hear the word refugee, what do you think of?
You think of people who have come here from war-stricken zones from other countries,
Right.
like African refugees or refugees from third world countries that cannot provide for themselves, that cannot have, basic food, clothing, shelter, housing, and who are in absolute destitute and desperate situations.
Yeah, I mean, I looked up the definition, and according to the dictionary, a refugee is a person who flees for refuge or safety. And this refers usually to somebody from a foreign country in a time of political upheaval or war or something. Person who flees for refuge or safety. And I never would have imagined that we would today be talking about refugees, people that are fleeing for refuge or safety in our own country, in Colorado, in order to be able to help their child deal with a disease or a condition. Now, I got to tell you, in preparation for this today, I watched news report after news report, read article after article about families being torn apart in order to try and save the life of a family member by having to move across the country. That, to me, is insane. Well, this is the United States of America. We should not have people who have to be refugees to try and help a family member who's dealing with a disease or debilitating condition. And the pain, the sacrifices that they're having to make to do what's right for their children, it's heartbreaking. Now, I want you to listen to this audio clip that I've got of this mother with a child who had to become a medical marijuana refugee. And I want you to listen to her describe the experience that she's dealing with.
She just needs her family around her. They are her joy. And she is theirs. Beautiful out here. I love it out here for what it's providing us. Love it. It's not home. It's just not home. It never will be.
Wow.
Being a parent, it's hard not to get emotional listening to that.
Yeah.
And being a parent, it makes me feel compelled. It makes me want to do something to bring those families back together. And when I discovered that there is a way to bring these families back together, to keep these families from having to be separated in order to help these children get better, I became driven to do something about it. Now, there's a quote by Ron Paul. I admire Ron Paul. I've supported Ron Paul for a long time. Very wise man. And there's a quote, a thing that he said, and what he said is, once you become knowledgeable, you have an obligation to do something about it. And I've become knowledgeable. I have discovered after reading about this and doing some research on this that it does not make sense for this to be happening the way it is. Now, I want you to listen. I found a news report out of San Diego that happened just not too terribly long ago, covering a story about Mariah Barnhart and her 3-year-old daughter, Dahlia, who is battling brain cancer. Tom, go ahead and roll that clip.
Mariah Barnhart tried CBD and was immediately impressed.
The very first night she ever took it, she slept through the night for the first time in her entire life.
Along the lines of medical marijuana, but without the high. So there's not the stigma, no legal issue.
CBD. What is CBD? Now, we're going to be covering this later in the hour, but the important thing that you need to take out of that is that here is this mom with his daughter who's battling brain cancer. Okay. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about brain cancer, we're talking about epilepsy, we're talking about lupus, there are so many things that the CBD is ideal for treating. So many things that people are moving across the country to Colorado to get a hold of. And here's this mom, Mariah Barnhart, 3-year-old daughter, Dahlia, took the CBD and had miraculous results. Guess what? Mariah Barnhart did not have to move to Colorado. I think she's down in the Los Angeles area. Now, as this report goes on, here is Charles Vest. He's the VP of Communications for Hemp Meds PX talking about CBD. Roll that clip.
It has the same compounds, CBD, in it, but it does not have the psychoactive effects of THC, which is found in medical marijuana.
CBD is produced here in San Diego at Hemp Meds PX. Big business already after just 2 years. 2,000 customers last year.
2,000 customers last year. Company in San Diego. CBD being made from hemp. And we will talk about this more as we go along. But here's the thing that you have to understand. CBD is CBD. Hemp, cannabis, marijuana, you can call it anything you want to, but the CBD is the CBD. It's the same CBD that people are going to Colorado, that are uprooting their lives, separating their families to go and get, is made from a company in San Diego. You don't have to go to Colorado. It's in San Diego, and it's available everywhere. One last clip
right,
from
Charles.
Charles.
It can legally ship in all 50 states.
Yes. One more clip from Charles Vest here from Hemp Meds PX.
It's definitely not a prescription drug. What it is, it's a simple compound that's found from a simple plant. Much like vitamin C is found from oranges, CBD is found from commercial hemp.
Here's the kicker, folks. This is CBD. It's the same CBD cannabidiol that people are moving to Colorado, and it's legal in all 50 states, like Joni just said. It's legal now. You can get it now. You can be in Indiana, Kentucky, Oklahoma, you name it. Any state in the United States, you can get it now. You don't have to become a refugee in your own country to get the help that you need. Parents don't have to uproot their families and move across the country and be put on a waiting list and wait for months to get relief for their kids. You can get it now. And this is the message that people need to get. You don't have to go through the pain and the suffering and the sacrifice to get this. And not only that, the kicker to this, Hemp Meds PX has been extremely generous with us, the Robert Scott Bell Show, and it's given us the opportunity to extend people a discount for listening to the Robert Scott Bell Show. If you use the promo code BELL30, you get 30% off of the cost. So my question is, why are people moving across the country? Why are they separating their families? Why are they going through all of this sacrifice to get something that they can get in all 50 states? It's because they don't know about it. And so I am driven at this point to let people know you don't have to go through this. Hemp Meds PX. You go to hempmedspx.com. You can call them 866-273-8502. 866-273-8502. If there's one thing that I can leave with everybody who has listened to this and who will hear this today, share this with your friends. If you know somebody, if your child is dealing with one of these conditions, call Hemp Meds PX. Don't move to Colorado. Don't quit your job. Don't separate yourself from your husband, your wife, your kids. No. Call Hemp Meds PX. Get it now. Share this with people who might be going through the same thing. The answer's out there. We don't need refugees in this own country. Please take advantage of what's available to you there.